Hi, I'm Anne-Marie and I'm a psychotherapist, and today I want to talk to you about some practical strategies to heal your nervous system and alleviate stress. You see, we all have an autonomic nervous system, which I'm going to represent using this slinky. When we go through life, we normally want to be mostly at rest and activated once in a while when we need to. If I need to study for an exam or get ready for a job interview, I want to be a little bit activated. And by activation, I mean my fight or flight response. It sends extra adrenaline and cortisol in my body so I can focus and be strengthened for the task ahead. If a dog was chasing me, my fight or flight response really would kick into gear so that I would have all that energy and surge of adrenaline so that I could run if I needed to. But the problem is when we have chronic stress in our life, our system stays overactivated for too long, and that has a lot of detrimental impacts on our body. It causes inflammatory disease, chronic pain, chronic fatigue. Overall, we're not doing so good when we're stressed that long. And talk therapy is beautiful. I love it. I love talking to people about their lives and ways that they can manage through life in healthier ways. But sometimes, especially when it's a physical issue, we need a physical intervention. So I'm going to give you 5 strategies to calm your nervous system, to bring you from fight or flight into a resting state so that you're only activated when you need to be, and overall you feel better. The first is deep breathing. You've probably heard of this. It's a very common tool, and the reason why is because it works. What happens when we deep breathe is we actually get out of our sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight response I've just been talking about, and we engage our parasympathetic nervous system, our peace response or parachute. It's our rest and digest function. And we want to live in a parasympathetic response because that's when we're healthy, when we're whole, and we feel less stress. So with deep breathing, you can do 4-4-4-4, which is breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and continue that. Some people call it box breathing because you can sort of draw a box in the air as you breathe in and hold and breathe out and hold for 4 counts. That's an easy one that a lot of people like because they can remember it. The truth is you don't even have to hold your breath. The key is extending and elongating your exhale. So another type of deep breathing you can do is breathe in for 4 and then breathe out slowly, count 8. Deep breathing is very powerful, especially when you do it regularly. So I encourage people to do deep breathing, not just when you're stressed, but when you're not stressed. So you're building your muscle when it comes to your parasympathetic nervous system. You're lowering your heart rate variability so that when you are stressed, you are more able to quickly enter a peaceful response. The next one you might not have heard of before is called eye softening. Our eyes are connected to our nervous system, and between our nervous system and our eyes, messages get sent about whether or not we're safe. When we're stressed, sometimes we get tunnel vision. Like if I need to run through the woods away from an attacker, I'm going to need to find the path of least resistance. Eye softening softens our gaze. It opens up our peripheral vision, sending the message to my brain that I'm safe. And you can do this simply by looking at an object in front of you. Like right now I'm looking at a vase on my desk. So I'm looking at the vase and I'm just becoming aware of my peripheral vision slowly. And I can notice the curtains on one side and I notice I have a blackboard on the other. I'm still looking at the vase, but I'm softening my gaze and I'm opening up my field of vision. You can help this process by actually rubbing the sides of your eyes, actually softening the muscles, or you can squint and release to, again, soften those muscles and then soften your gaze and open up your field of vision. If you really want to test this, take your pulse while you do it and notice if your pulse goes up or if it goes down. If it goes down, you are entering your parasympathetic nervous system, your peace response. Another one is yawning. When we yawn, we activate our peace response. And you can force a yawn by opening up your mouth very wide and lifting your soft palate. And just force it over time, and sure enough, you will yawn. So I even can yawn when I just think about it. I don't know, maybe I'm too tired. I've heard people say sometimes their dog will yawn when they're anxious and upset. That's why. They're actually calming themselves down. Yawning works. The next one is bear down. If someone was having tachycardia, increased heart rate, and the paramedics were on the scene, they would likely tell that person to bear down and to create tension in their chest and their abdomen, because that engages our vagus nerve and slows down our heart rate, which is exactly what we want to do when we're stressed. So what you do is you create tension in your chest and your abdomen as if you were having a bowel movement. What you can do is you can breathe in, count 4, and then when you do the hold, Bear down, creating that tension and that pressure, and then breathe out, count 4. Give it a try. And then a final way to alleviate physical stress stored up in our bodies is to exercise. When our sympathetic nervous system is on alert, we are producing extra adrenaline and extra cortisol. That's an active and a stress hormone in our bodies. The cortisol especially can be very detrimental over time if too much of it accumulates and it has no outlet. And the best way to get rid of excess cortisol is exercise. And it doesn't have to be a lot. 5 minutes of aerobic exercise, getting your heart rate up, sweating, and deep breathing can release that cortisol. And if you struggle with motivation, I always say that the person who walks for 5 minutes is running laps around the person on the couch. Set your threshold low, and then you're more likely to achieve it and succeed it, and then actually give yourself a sense of accomplishment and more motivation to do more. So set the bar low and do some exercise. And I'm going to give you a bonus one just for fun. Tears. A lot of people don't realize that when we hold back emotions that we feel, we actually are holding stress in our bodies. And when we are able to connect with our emotions that we've suppressed, what happens is we actually release that stored up tension in the form of tears. Did you know that if I were to take your tears that are connected to some type of pain, anger or sadness or grief, and put them under a microscope, we would see cortisol in those tears. It's literally flushing the stress out of your body. Whereas if I had a piece of dust in my eye and I had tears that lubricated my eye, there'd be no cortisol because I'm not stressed. Our bodies have built-in healing mechanisms, and when we can connect with how we feel, connect with that pain, we actually release some of that pain. Maybe think about that. The next time you have a good cry, you are literally healing yourself. I hope these strategies are helpful. Please like and follow for more. And I wish you peace, happiness, and a life full of joy. And hopefully a little less stress. Bye, guys.